part. It used to just be bought with our money, and that's bad enough. But now they're buying it with our kids' money and our grandkids' money. They don't even have the courage to use our own, and they're going to hand down a legacy of depression and debt to those children. So I say enough. No riders, no earmarks, no unnecessary legislation, no unconstitutional crap. So people say, Gunny, you can't do that. That's the politics of no. That's what they're going to call it. I'll say, you're darn right. That's absolutely what the people want. They want a congressman with the courage to go there and say no. Say no to all those things so you can say yes to economic opportunity in your neighborhood. Because we all know smaller government requires lower taxes. Lower taxes means the money stays here in our district. We're not sending off to Washington, D.C. for them to decide where they're going to send it. We keep it here. That's going to grow jobs. That's going to increase economic opportunity here. Strong national defense. I tell you what, I'm tired of my government coming up with policy for withdrawal before they come up with policy for victory. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm running for the legislature. I'm not in the executive branch. I won't make policy, but I can certainly influence it. I can certainly influence it. We've seen in Iraq, the only thing that this... Hey, I seen this enemy up close. I seen them up close and personal. I fought a lot of them. And I'll tell you what, I know they understand one thing. They understand strength. They understand power. They understand more tanks, more aircraft carriers, more jets, more troops on the ground. I tell you, they say they're not afraid to die. I say baloney. I haven't met the one yet who wasn't afraid to die. You just got to put a big enough threat in front of them. It worked in Iraq. It'll work in Afghanistan. So as your legislator, what I will do, when that president calls for more troops, I'm going to make sure he has those troops to surge with. I absolutely know that it's constitutional. We're there to provide for the national defense and promote the general welfare. I will absolutely spend your tax dollars to grow that military back to those pre-1990 levels so that we will be that strong America again that is feared around the world. Now, here's the good news. Here's the good news. 30% of the jobs here where we live, right here in this district, come from defense spending. So not only do we get a free nation, not only do we spread democracy around the world, not only do we get a safe street to raise your family on, but we grow jobs when we do that. So that sounds like a good deal all the way around to me. Secure border. Secure border. We've got a drug war happening just south of us right here. And I tell you what, I'm not going to wait till those beheadings and those hangings in the street find their way across this border before we decide to take it seriously. I live right here in Chula Vista. This is my neighborhood. My policy affects you. It affects me. I live here. We're not going to wait for that violence to come across before we decide to take a serious stance on that border. That's the same thing with the national defense. It's done with more Border Patrol agents. You can try and talk all kinds of things in the world. The only thing that's going to stop it is more Border Patrol agents. I will absolutely spend your tax dollars to secure that border down there. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-immigration. With a last name like Popaditch, my family didn't come over on the Mayflower. I am pro-immigration, but you're going to obey the law. You are absolutely going to obey the law. So how can I influence that as a Congress? We can't. We've already got the law. I don't see any need to remake it. We've got the law. What I can do is I absolutely will propose legislation to cut funding to any sanctuary city. Your tax dollars will not go to those executive branches that won't enforce our law. Now, since we're talking Constitution so much today, strong national defense and promote the general welfare. You know, the one group that I think that promote the general welfare applies to the most are the kids. And for some reason, because they don't have a vote, that seems to be the group that just gets totally omitted on this promoting the general welfare. So what I tell you, as your congressman, as a member of the legislature, I will propose federal legislation to make sure that these child pedophiles, once we lock them up, they stay locked up, and we don't have to rely on an activist judge so they get out in the street and do what happened down here in our community. A safe street to raise your family on. That's who I am. So limited government, strong national defense, secure border, and a safe street to raise your family on. My name is Nick Popaditch. I'm running for Congress here in the 51st. I'll tell you what I bring to this. Because I'm not a politician. I'm a patriot. I'm an everyday American citizen. What my background is, I'm a gunny. And what a gunny does, a gunny gets to be in a room when the general makes a plan, but he's on a deck when a private has to do it. I take the commanding officer's intent and I turn it into action on the ground. I accomplished the mission. And as a gunner, you don't have the privilege of deciding, that mission's not a good mission. The commanding officer's crazy. I'm just going to do what I want. I take the mission given and I accomplish it. Well, I'll tell you one thing, as a citizen, patriot, not a politician, I realize that the commanding officer of the 51st is the people of the 51st. You'll be my commanding officer. I'll go there and accomplish your mission. Not going there to make friends. My friends live here. I tell you what, I wasn't afraid to take a rocket in the head for what I believe in this country. I'm certainly not afraid to go to Washington, D.C. and be unpopular to do what's right. I'm Nick Popaditch. I'm running for Congress. IRA!